Imagine this. It's 2 in the morning on a totally deserted highway in Rajasthan. There's a car and it's flying down the road, swerving like crazy. The driver is absolutely frantic. But see, he's not running from the cops. He's running from an experience, from a dare. A dare to spend the night in a place where history has completely curdled into something else. And then suddenly he slams on the brakes. The car flips and everything goes silent. What the police found in that wreckage, it wasn't just a car crash. It was pure, raw terror, just frozen on the victims' faces.
That's what the driver supposedly screamed just moments before the crash. He was telling his friends he could see her, right there in the rearview mirror, sitting with them in the car. Now, this isn't just some campfire ghost story. It's one of the many, many modern legends that cling to a place so infamous, it's earned a truly chilling reputation.
And today, we're going to open the gates and step inside Bhangarh Fort. It's a place of stunning, beautiful architecture, but it has a history so dark, it feels like it's actually stained the very stones themselves. Okay, so let's dive right in. Because our investigation here, it doesn't start with folklore or some ancient story. No, it starts with a baffling, totally verifiable fact posted by the government of India itself. This sign is literally hammered into the ground right at the entrance of the fort. It's an official government order. Now, just think about that for a second. How many historical monuments anywhere in the world come with a government-mandated curfew because it's just too dangerous to be there after dark?
And listen, this warning isn't coming from some local tourist board trying to drum up business. It's from the ASI, the Archaeological Survey of India. These guys are the highest authority on historical preservation in the whole country. Their job is to protect monuments, not to endorse ghost stories. So you have to ask, what do they know that we don't?
Is it because of wild animals? Maybe. Or is it something else? This one single official act makes the mystery so much deeper than any legend ever could. And even start to answer that question, we have to go back in time, way back, to a Bhangarh that was very, very much alive. You know, to really understand the darkness of this place, you first have to see the light. Before it was a ruin, Bhangarh was an absolute jewel of its era, a city that was built to last forever. Just try to picture it, a thriving city, perfectly safe, nestled in the Aravalli hills. You've got these grand two-story shops lining the main market. The air is filled with the smell of sandalwood and expensive perfumes. You'd hear kids laughing, the sound of temple bells ringing, the low murmur of 10,000 people just living their lives. It really was a paradise that was about to have a catastrophic fall. So, the big question is, how did this vibrant, bustling city become a city of ghosts? Well, the actual history is a bit hazy, but legend, oh legend, gives us two powerful and very different stories for its sudden, violent end. On one hand, you have a story about a broken promise. A powerful sage gets his trust violated, and it leads to total destruction. A classic tale of arrogance. But the other story, the one that's way more famous and honestly more chilling, is a story of twisted desire, black magic, and a terrible curse born from a dying breath. And this tale is really the heart of Bhangarh's legend. You have Princess Ratnavati, who's known for being incredibly beautiful, but also very smart. She becomes the object of this dark, twisted obsession. The tantric's plan to use a magic potion on her just backfires spectacularly. And as he's lying there, dying, literally crushed by his own spell, he unleashes this final, horrible curse on the whole city, its people, and the princess he could never have. A curse that promised everyone would be trapped there, tormented, forever. So, you have to ask, are these just 400-year-old stories, ancient legends? Or do they still echo in those ruins today? Well, if you look at modern encounters, it seems the curse is far from over. Take this story from a group of friends who decided to test the legends themselves. They snuck in after dark, heard something that sent them absolutely running for their lives, and they thought they'd gotten away clean. But later, one of them opens their bag and finds this. A box of sweets they had was completely pulverized. I'm not talking messy from running. The box itself was mangled, as if something had just violently crushed it in their bag. It was this piece of physical evidence that just made no sense. And what's really interesting is that it's not just personal stories like that. Paranormal investigators have gone in with all their modern gear, and they've recorded some really bizarre stuff. EMF meters just go wild with no power source anywhere nearby.
Audio recorders pick up whispers in totally silent rooms. People report getting this sudden, beautiful smell of perfume, maybe Ratnavati's perfume, which then instantly sours into the smell of rot. And then there's the weirdest thing of all, the roofs. Hundreds of stone walls are still standing, but not a single building has a roof. The locals say the curse makes sure that nothing can ever cover the city's shame.
So what do we have? We've got an official government warning. We have 2 powerful legends about a deadly curse. And we have a whole list of modern paranormal claims. When you put it all together, you get a mystery that feels both ancient and incredibly immediate all at the same time.
This is what the local villagers will tell you if you ask. For them, it's not a mystery at all. It's just a simple, terrifying fact of life. At night in Bhangarh, the air isn't moved by the wind, it's moved by the restless souls that are trapped there. So, in the end, we're left with this massive question. Is the haunting a real, supernatural event born from a tragic past? Or is Bhangarh just this perfect storm, where a dark history, a government warning, and our own psychology all collide to create a place that just feels undeniably haunted? The truth, it seems, is still a prisoner within those crumbling walls.
You know, maybe the Archaeological Survey of India had it right all along. Maybe Bhangarh is a doorway between our world and something else. And maybe, just maybe, whatever is on the other side of that door is something we are all much better off not knowing.